Okay, let's unpack this. On the deep dive today, we're taking a deep dive into something incredibly vital to our daily lives, mastering our emotions. And, truly finding that elusive inner balance. Our mission here is to really distill the core wisdom from the art of mastering your emotions, a practical guide. We're extracting the most impactful nuggets, the actionable principles, so you can walk away with powerful insights without having to read the whole thing cover to cover, whether you're grappling with stress, maybe navigating tricky anger, moving through heartbreak, or, honestly, just seeking more calm day to day. This guide, it offers a clear path forward.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how the guide immediately zeroes in on emotional intelligence. That's, your ability to understand and manage your own emotions and also recognize those in others. And alongside that, self-regulation, which is really your capacity to respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting impulsively.
Right, reacting on autopilot.
Exactly. It's not just about feeling better, though that's part of it. It's about truly understanding the mechanics of your inner world, which is really the foundational key to having some conscious control. So this deep dive, it'll help you understand precisely what this guide offers and, crucially, why it matters for cultivating a more stable, peaceful inner experience.
Okay, so our journey into this guide, it starts where all lasting change really begins.
Yeah.
Simply understanding emotions. The guide immediately reveals a powerful truth. Emotions aren't random, they're not just noise, they're biological signals, each with a specific purpose, and they profoundly shape our decisions and behavior, often when we're not even aware. The key insight here is how to start decoding those signals within yourself. So it's about moving beyond just feeling an emotion to really understanding its message.
Exactly. And that's critical because, the guide emphasizes awareness as the absolute first step. You can't truly navigate an emotion until you understand what you're feeling and perhaps more importantly, why you're feeling it. It's a bit like trying to navigate a city without a map, right? You need to know your current location first.
Yeah, where you are right now.
This guide essentially equips you with that initial compass.
Okay, so once you've started to decode those signals, the guide then takes you to the next crucial step, uncovering your emotional triggers and response patterns. This is where I think the guide really shines a light on something vital, because it helps you identify your personal trigger zones. Ever found yourself just snapping or withdrawing or spiraling into overthinking and not really knowing why?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I know I've had moments where I've thought, where did that come from? This guide teaches you to recognize those reactive patterns. But okay, how does it help you move beyond just identifying a trigger to actually changing the ingrained response? That feels like the harder part.
That's a great question. Because, identification is only the first piece of the puzzle. The beauty of this section is its focus on creating that crucial pause, that space between the stimulus and your reaction. Through introspective exercises and some really relatable examples, it helps you map those triggers, gives you a clearer picture of your internal landscape.
I see, like drawing your own map.
Pretty much. And once you see the pattern, you gain the power to interrupt it. It emphasizes, and this is key, that this isn't about suppressing emotions. It's not about bottling them up. It's about consciously choosing your response, breaking free from that autopilot we mentioned.
Right, choosing instead of just reacting. And once you have that pause, that space, the guide's real power comes in its techniques for emotional regulation. This is where the practical toolbox really opens up. For instance, it distills things like mindfulness and breath work into simple, immediate steps you can take. And these aren't just about relaxation, are they? They actually activate your parasympathetic nervous system.
Exactly. They literally shift your body out of fight or flight.
Right, into a state where clarity and calm can actually emerge. And cognitive reframing. It offers a surprisingly accessible way to literally restore negative thoughts, shift your perspective, reduce their grip. We're also talking about powerful tools like journaling prompts for processing feelings and visualization techniques for cultivating calm.
It's a really comprehensive set of tools, and what's particularly valuable, I think, is their foundation. These techniques aren't just random suggestions pulled out of thin air. They're rooted in established methods like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, mindfulness-based practices, and core emotional intelligence theory.
So there's substance behind them.
Absolutely. This gives them a strong evidence base, which means you can trust their effectiveness in building real emotional capacity.
And moving beyond just external triggers and how to regulate in the moment, the guide makes it incredibly clear that a powerful force shaping our emotional landscape is our self-talk and belief systems, our inner dialogue. Those constant thoughts running through our heads and our core beliefs, they profoundly influence how we react emotionally. The guide teaches you how to transform that often self-critical internal voice into something more like a compassionate coach.
Yeah.
Which is, well, that's a transformative idea right there.
Indeed. This section has a really strong emphasis on developing what the guide calls a growth mindset around emotional management. This means seeing every difficult emotion not as a problem to be, avoided or suppressed.
But as an opportunity.
Exactly, an
Yeah.
opportunity to learn and grow. It's about building a constructive relationship with your emotions rather than a combative one. It sort of reframes discomfort as information, which empowers you to respond with curiosity instead of fear.
And that leads directly into the guide's final pillar, which makes perfect sense. Building emotional resilience. The guide is very clear. Emotional mastery isn't about never feeling difficult emotions. That's not realistic. It's about becoming truly resilient, being able to not only bounce back after setbacks, but also to adapt, to develop mental flexibility in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Just understanding that alone can be truly transformative for your well-being, I think.
Absolutely. It also explores the critical importance of things like healthy boundaries, assertive communication, and empathy, especially in emotionally charged interactions. These aren't just personal practices, they're crucial for navigating relationships and external stressors effectively. They contribute to a more robust emotional core. And the guide reminds us, building this resilience isn't about being stoic or never feeling down. Trust me, we all have those days.
Right. It's not about being emotionless.
Not at all. It's about building the internal muscles, so to speak, to recover and move forward more wisely.
What really makes this guide stand out, and our sources seem to confirm this, is its incredibly accessible language. There's no intimidating jargon. It's just clear, relatable insights that make these complex psychological concepts feel entirely approachable. Plus, pretty much every concept comes with practical exercises or tools you can try immediately. That makes the wisdom actionable.
Instantly usable.
It feels like a truly holistic approach. It weaves together psychology, neuroscience, mindfulness. It does it in a balanced way. And it seems genuinely suitable for anyone, whether you're just starting your emotional journey or maybe looking to deepen existing skills.
Precisely. This makes it particularly useful for you if you maybe experience emotional overwhelm or frequent mood swings, or perhaps if you're looking to improve relationships through better emotional communication. That's a big one. It's also quite valuable, I'd say, for professionals facing burnout, stress, or emotional fatigue. It offers an actionable model for regulation.
Okay, but are there any caveats? Who might need something different?
Well, it's worth noting, if you're seeking a deeply academic or clinical textbook, this guide is more focused on practical application. It doesn't dive deep into extensive theoretical debate. And, crucially, if you're experiencing serious emotional distress or trauma, this guide is best used as a complement to professional help. It's not a replacement.
Right. A foundation maybe, but not the whole building if you need serious structural work.
Exactly. It's a fantastic foundation, but sometimes you absolutely need more specialized support. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the guide's central message is really profound. Emotional mastery isn't about controlling your emotions like trying to put them in a box or shutting them down. It's about understanding them deeply, listening to their signals, and then responding with wisdom instead of just raw reaction.
Responding, not reacting.
Precisely. The ultimate goal isn't just to manage feelings day to day, but to truly grow through them.
Yeah.
Building powerful resilience and greater self-awareness along the way. It's really a compassionate, structured, and immensely useful compass for anyone seeking genuine inner balance in a world that can often feel pretty emotionally demanding.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? If developing this growth mindset around emotional management means seeing every difficult emotion as an opportunity to learn, what new insights, what new opportunities might you uncover in your own emotional trigger zones, maybe even tomorrow? Just take a moment, perhaps later today, to think about how embracing this journey, awareness, regulation, resilience, how that could utterly transform not just your daily interactions, but your entire personal well-being.